Welcome back to another bullet journal setup. This is my setup for March, but I'm going to quickly flip through my February setup just to show what it looks like at the end of the month or towards the end of the month. Today is the 26th, so I haven't completely filled in everything, but I just wanted to show what it looks like mostly filled out. So that is my mood tracker. And then I did self-care bingo, and I have almost filled in all of the spots. Hopefully I can before the end of February. And then I wrote a line every day, and then these are just my weekly setups. And that was my habit tracker for that week. I just had a little pocket for it. Okay, so now I am going to start my March setup, and I decided to do an avocado toast theme. So I drew out some other breakfast items that kind of go with avocado toast, like toast and jam and some strips of bacon and some egg. Usually when I make my avocado toast, I don't just put avocado on it. I will put like a fried egg on top with maybe some Cholula sauce and or with the everything but the bagel seasoning, something like that. So that's why I drew some eggs in here. So it kind of turned out like a breakfast theme, but not really. It's solely avocado toast. But I decided to do a really easy, simple doodling style. So this is kind of like a school kid doodling vibe. And I think it turned out well for that. It's definitely simple. It's not like the best drawings ever, but it's simple, it's easy. It took me no time. I think it took me a total of 2 hours to do this whole setup. So it's very beginner friendly. So I just drew out those items on my plates, and then I'm just gonna fill them in and draw March over top with my calligraphy pen from Tombow. So if you are new to my channel, I am Rachel, and you can find me on Instagram at The Lipstick Living. I would love for you to follow me. I mainly post about my videos, which are lifestyle videos. I do unboxing, reviews, date nights, meal preps, bullet journaling setup, and then I sometimes will do like a craft album flip through. I haven't done one in a while, but I plan to do more of those. So I'd love for you to follow me on Instagram, and please like this video if you enjoy it and subscribe to my channel. So now I am drawing in a really large piece of toast on the left side. I wanted to do kind of like a zoomed in look at the breakfast food or at the avocado toast. And so I'm filling that in with my calligraphy pen. And then I just draw in some other breakfast food, like the bacon, orange slices, some avocados, and then I draw a quote in the bottom corner. And my quote for this month says, There has never been a sadness that can't be cured by breakfast food, which I know it's not really an avocado toast quote, but I couldn't find one that I liked. All of the ones that I found are really, really cheesy. So I just decided to go with like a breakfasty quote. And breakfast food is my favorite food anyway. So I like that I chose that for my monthly quote. And I will link all of the supplies that I've used down below if you're interested. So I will make a kit down below that you can click on. And most of these items you should be able to find on Amazon if you're interested in getting some for yourself. Also, I would just like to add that the bacon that I'm drawing is vegetarian bacon because I don't eat animals. So just wanted to say that. So after I finish coloring in all of the breakfast food, I take this really light gray color Tombow brush pen and just trace the background. I just felt like it needed some extra color, so I colored in the background completely, and that way it looks more like it's on the plate and I'm just zooming in on it. And then that's why I colored in the background of the plates on the right side with that same light gray color. It doesn't really show up as much on camera, but you could definitely see it in person a little bit more. Plus, it was really, really bright when I was doing this, when I was filming, so it's just harder to pick up on the camera, but it's a little bit darker in person, so it makes it pop a little bit more. Okay, so now I'm moving on to my monthly setup, but I am deciding to do, or I decided to do a Dutch door again, but I did it rounded off so that it looked kind of like half of a plate. And on the left side, this month, I'm going to do my mood tracker. So that's what I'm drawing out right now. I'm just tracing little circles to be a plate for every day of the month. And then I will draw in a different breakfast item for my mood. And I'll put the mood tracker at the bottom. And then for my half plate Dutch door, that's where I'm going to plan on one side my Instagram posts, and then on the other side, I will have my YouTube videos. And then on the right side of that will be my calendar. So I kind of did the same setup that I did in February, but I just swapped the calendar and the mood tracker. And the reason why I did that is because I felt like it was, when I was using it in February, I'd have to flip that Dutch door a lot because I wanted the YouTube videos to be like, when I'm planning out my YouTube videos, I wanted to be able to see the calendar easily. So I know I could have just switched the YouTube to be on the front of the Dutch door, but I kind of liked that my calendar was on the right side because I use it for writing more and I'm right-handed, so I thought it would be easier. So I'm just going to try this out. I switched it up a little bit, but I did really like having the Dutch door for my YouTube and Instagram planning. It was really easy and I kept up with it every week during the month of February. So I didn't want to change things up again and then like get me off of my schedule. So I kept the Dutch door. So I might even keep it for next month if it goes well, because it definitely was an easier way of planning my social media. So now I'm just coloring in the breakfast food that I decided for each of my moods. And I put a quote above that that says, "What am I in the mood for?" I thought that was cute because I'm always asking myself that. What am I in the mood to eat? So then I write in my moods for this month. I only chose 4. So I chose happy, content, annoyed, and sad. So I didn't put one for angry because I noticed that when in February, when I would color in angry for the day, it was really just like I was annoyed. I wasn't like actually super angry. I was just kind of like annoyed with things or annoyed with work or things like that. And so I was like, I don't really get angry that much. I mean, if I do, it's very fleeting. It's not like a whole day of anger, you know? So that's why I chose to nix that one. And then now for my content tracker, the Dutch door, I needed a tab on it because it was like too hard for me to pick up. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to need a tab if I'm flipping this back and forth. I had a tab on last month's too, but I had like cut it into it. But since this was a semicircle, I wasn't easily able to cut a tab. So I just made like a little rectangle with curved edges and then folded it in half. And then I cover it with some washi tape and just I take a glue stick and glue it onto that. The bottom is kind of cut off here, but I did want to mention I left some space at the bottom of my content planner to put how many followers I have at the beginning of the month, middle of the month, and at the end. So I have a space for how many followers I have on Instagram for March 1st, 15th, and the 31st. And then I do the same thing on the back for YouTube, but just for subscribers. And I know a lot of people that I've watched that do bullet journaling and have YouTube channels. They say that it was, like, bad for them to see that number because if they didn't grow any, it would make them upset, or if they didn't grow what they wanted to grow, then it would kind of make them feel like a failure. But I don't think that that's true for me. I don't think I would really care. I'm also like a really small channel. I just started. I have less than 100 subscribers right now, so it doesn't really bother me. It's nice to see. Even I think in February I've only gained maybe 2 or 3 subscribers, and I've been posting twice a week. So I've been pretty consistent. So it's not like I grow that much, but it is nice for me. It seems nice when I get an extra subscriber. Even just gaining one, I am really excited about that. So I think it's great for me to see. Now on Instagram, I grew quite a bit. I think I started with 111 and now I have 122. So overall, I think for today's the 26th. So I think for in 26 days to grow 11 followers on Instagram, I think that's a pretty good amount. So for my monthly calendar, I decided to draw a piece of toast, like an outline of a piece of toast around it. I didn't have much space because I need my calendar boxes to be pretty big because I write a lot in them. So I didn't have a ton of space to make the toast around it, but I just worked with what I had. Honestly, I'm getting to the point where as long as I'm using my journal consistently, I don't really care if it's perfect anymore. Like, it's never perfect, it never was, because I used to spend hours and hours and hours making my bullet journal look amazing, and then I wouldn't use it. Like, for my 2 favorite setups I've ever done, there was my very first one in August of last year. I did like a sunflower theme, and I was so happy with how that turned out. I thought it was beautiful. I spent probably, I think I had over 8 hours of footage of making that setup, which is insane. That's an entire day of my time, and it's just not realistic to keep that up. And even though it's fun for me, I'm trying to be able to like utilize this and also give beginners really easy setups, because I know when I was starting out, I would look at these like amazing artists and they would set up this really intricate, delicate artwork, and I was like, there's no way I can do that, and it was just intimidating. And so it was hard for me to find a channel that had simple, easy setups, and I would have to look for beginner channels, smaller ones, or I'd have to look on Pinterest and pictures of things. So I think overall it's just beneficial for me now to just do simple, easy setups that are quick, and then I get more use out of them than I did the ones that I spent hours and hours on. Same thing for my December one. When I did the poinsettia setup, I loved that. I think it's so nice and pretty. But yeah, I spent hours and hours doing it, and then I didn't even use it like for the whole month because I was so busy with Vlogmas and the holidays. It didn't work out. So I think I've learned my lesson, and now I'm going to try to do quicker setups. But if I am feeling more crafty and artsy and in the mood, I will do it, but I want to just make sure that I still get use out of it. So now I'm just doing my weekly setup, my first week, and I did a middle rectangular box on the page for my week, and I have a space for every day, and then I combined Saturday and Sunday for the weekend. And then the box on the bottom left is for tasks, and then my top right box is for my habits. I've kind of nixed the whole page of a habit tracker just because I track my habits in my Power Sheets goal planner as well, and I didn't want to have a whole page dedicated to it in my bullet journal and also do it in my Power Sheets every day. It just seems way too much tracking. So I like how I've moved it to weekly tracking my habits. And then I did like a little piece of toast in the top left corner for my calendar, and I highlighted the week. And then now I'm just writing out my habits, which are clean, make bed, move, meditate, eat healthy, read, and crafts. And then my quote at the very bottom just says, eat some Avo toast this week. So hopefully I can do that. I will try. Okay, so that is it. I am just adding some washi tape to the very front page because I thought it was a little blank. So I just added that like grid kind of washi tape, and then this one that I found that had some stripes on it that had the same kind of color scheme. Okay, that is it. So this is my full setup in my bullet journal for March. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and got some inspiration for your bullet journal. Happy planning, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.